welcome back to my channel. My name is Kim if you are new here, and I have another week of our pantry challenge accomplished that I am going to share with you. I didn't get it posted last week on Friday when I normally do these pantry challenges. My daughter broke her foot last week, and we have been dealing with that. It seems like if I lose a day to being in the doctor's office and whatnot, the whole week kind of spirals a little bit. And I am not the most organized, and so things just get crazy, and I just don't have the time to do everything. So I am going to post this here this week. I will also try to get something for the filming, also try to get another video up on Friday for how our week 4 went. If you are new here, we are a family of 6. We homeschool. My husband works from home. My oldest son does go to high school, but he packs lunches, so we eat almost everything from home. Anyway, but now in January, and for as long as I can do it, I want to reduce my grocery budget so that we can save a little bit of money. We've had a lot going on this past year, and I want to start off 2024 on a good foot and get some things paid off from things that happened last year. So I'm just gonna go over this really quick. My pantry challenge grocery budget, I'm still shopping because I do want fresh produce and dairy, and then there will be some other items, but my budget is $50 for the week. If I need toiletries, then it'll be about $75 or $80 for the week. For a little reference, I used to spend, when I'm not doing this challenge, about $200 to $250 a week, but my grocery budget does include everything and not just food, so that includes toilet paper, paper towels if we need them. I don't generally use a whole lot of paper towels, but we do have them some. Soap, toothpaste, all that stuff comes out of my grocery budget. Okay, so I'm going to show you what we did this week and then share the meals that we had. Here is our downstairs pantry for week 3. There's a few things gone. You know, it's not looking empty yet or anything, but a few things. We don't drink that stuff very often at all, so that will probably be here for a while. And I've been kind of moving cans around, so I've been pulling them from these shelves and then putting them over here, so it looks just a little fuller over here, but I've been kind of consolidating cans so that we know what we need. Again, over here, I found these in the back over here, and moved them there so I remember. And yeah, it feels like we're not getting through the pantries as much, but it also feels like I don't have stuff to make meals. I don't have the stuff to make easy meals, I guess. So this is what my pantry looks like now, and again, not super big changes. I'm realizing that we are an ingredient household and not a snack household. I just heard that on social media and I thought it was funny. I'm like, that is us. So I have a lot of things to make things, but not a lot of food that the kids can just grab. So I am trying to figure out ways to use these ingredients, but there's some things different. You know, this looks a little bit better. I haven't really used any of those flowers yet. We're going through the honey though. We still have some bagels left. We're gonna use these taco shells soon, and then these corn chips. I'm gonna do chili, I'm gonna do tacos. I guess lots of Mexican this week. It's kind of my go-to easy food is Mexican style food because it doesn't take it super long the way we eat it. So yeah, just got different chips and brown sugar down there, but this is looking better. And yeah, we're kind of digging through and seeing what all is in there, and that is really the only difference in the pantry for this week. This is my grocery haul for week 3 of my pantry challenge. So it's getting more difficult, I've got to say, and not even thinking of ideas, for meals, but kind of running out of ingredients a little bit, but we'll keep figuring it out. First off, it's a little more of an expensive haul because I had to buy toilet paper. We have had colds running through the house, and we use just toilet paper to blow our nose as opposed to Kleenex. And we are going to we're gonna have some friends over next weekend, and then family come for a few days in a couple weeks, and we're gonna need some more toilet paper. So that was like $19. So that was a big portion of my grocery budget. I did not, since I had to buy toilet paper, I did not stick to the $50 budget. I let myself get $50 in food and then add the toilet paper on. So let me just quick show you. I got, if you notice, there's no bread today. We have some, and I've been making some, so we're doing good on bread. And so I got tortillas because I want to do a casserole that I have all the ingredients for except for the tortillas. So I got those. There will probably be some left over, but one package just was not going to be enough. I got 2 bags of pretzels. I got 1 bag of corn chips. We have some partially used bags of corn chips in the pantry, and I'm gonna make some white chicken chili, and I just wanted to get another one. If we were really strapped for cash, I wouldn't have gotten these, but it's really gonna enhance our meal. And I also, during this pantry challenge, want to feed everyone well so we're satisfied, and sometimes a little crunch in your chili is good. 1 little bag of these frozen sweet corn for the chili. I got green bell peppers, jalapenos, potatoes. We ran out of potatoes this last week, like really early on, because I hadn't bought any during this pantry challenge, and that was really hard. It was like, I can't make hash browns, I can't make breakfast hash, there's no mashed potatoes, like things like that. I was surprised by how the options for the meals I make change when I had no potatoes. So bananas, they're green, but they'll ripen up. We still have granola. The granola I made is delicious. Like next time I make it, I'm gonna share the recipe because it's the best I've had, hands down. And so we went through a container of this last week really super fast. I am out of almond milk, and we needed some regular milk. All the milk at Aldi was squished today, and then someone was buying all of the milk, like seriously 24 gallons of milk, and he let me have this one. So I was thankful, and it's not leaking, it's just weird looking. This is for the white chicken chili. And now some more produce: grapefruit, the mandarin oranges, onions, and lettuce. So it seems pretty basic. I can do a lot with this, and I still have meals and stuff, but it's getting harder to stretch that $50 budget. So my total, with toilet paper and everything, was $71.49. So if you take away the $19 for the toilet paper, it ended up being like 52 something, I think, or 51. So it wasn't right at 50. I still had a few ones and some change in my purse. It's very humbling to be sitting there counting out your pennies and whatnot, especially at Aldi when they want to go fast, fast, fast. But I did it. This is important to try to get the pantry cleaned out, and I'm really discovering, you know, what kinds of things we rely on in our, you know, meal plans, and what things that we can do without. Today I am going to make some excuse me. Today I am going to make some imitation maple syrup. So when you run out of syrup in the pantry, but you still have ingredients to make stuff, you can easily make some imitation maple syrup. So my mom actually made this when we were growing up, and it's just one of those recipes that I took with me and will still use to this day, and it's been really helpful. So we do, I'm saying so a lot, sorry guys, so. Anyway, you do equal parts white sugar, brown sugar, and corn syrup, and water. I am doing, so normally what I do is I measure out how much corn syrup I have, and I have like almost, I have like 3.5 cups. It's really hard to see. I have about 3.5 cups of corn syrup, so that's how much syrup I'm going to make. I do it that way because I almost always have brown sugar, white sugar, and water, but sometimes I don't have quite enough corn syrup. The original recipe is just 1 cup of each, but we go through a lot of it, and it doesn't, I haven't ever had it long enough to see it go bad. We, again, keep it in the refrigerator and, yeah, in some mason jars, and it's great. So I'm going to show you here, how it goes. I have added the corn syrup and the water. Now I'm going to just do a couple shakes of salt. And then I'm going to turn it on and bring it to a boil. This is a large amount. This is larger than I normally make, but we are going to be having some company and possibly making some waffles or pancakes for breakfast, so I just want to have enough on hand. So yeah, the hardest part, or the longest part of this, is bringing it to a boil. Once you bring it to a boil, you do a nice heavy roll for about 5 minutes, and then you add your extracts. I tend to add maple extract, but growing up my mom did almond extract and it was really delicious. And I mean, honestly, any extract you have that you think would taste good on syrup, you could definitely add. Okay, it's boiling here and I have my 5 minutes on the timer. It foams up, and then after a couple of minutes it kind of, the foam goes away and you can see this. So once it's cooked for 5 minutes, then I am going to pull it off the heat and add the extract. There we go. I'm going to add the maple extract. This is the maple extract I use, but I've seen some other kinds in the stores. Oh my goodness. I'm going to do about 2 tablespoons. Okay, and I'm going to stir it up, and it's still really runny. As it cools, it will thicken. You can use it now, and it's pretty thin. Boiling it for 5 minutes does make it pretty thick, a very thick syrup, which my family does enjoy. But if you don't like as thick of syrup, you can reduce the boiling time by a little bit. I wouldn't do it by too much, but maybe by a minute to 30 seconds. And then when it cools, I'll put it into mason jars. I like to use the wide mouth ones because I have a lid for it that I bought for pouring syrup, and it works out just great. And here's what the syrup looks like, all jarred up. So we've got 2 full quarts and then a little one, and this is the lid I was talking about. It's awesome. It screws on to a wide mouth mason jar, and easy pour, and you can wash it when it gets really sticky. Here are the meals we had for week 3 of our pantry challenge. For Sunday, we had oven burgers and homemade buns, and then for vegetables, it's the things that we put on top of the burgers, you know, fresh onion slices and pickles, lettuce, tomatoes, and all of that. We also had some cucumbers on the side. Monday, we made some spaghetti and meatballs with homemade breadsticks and green peas. Tuesday, leftovers. Wednesday, white chicken chili. I keep, like, pictures of white chicken chili look amazing, but then when I make it, it just doesn't live up to the expectations that I have for it, and maybe I just haven't found a great recipe for it. I don't know. I'm gonna keep trying it, but it was okay. It was edible. It was tasty. It just didn't taste like I expect the pictures to taste like. Does that make sense? Because I look at the pictures of recipes and I'm looking, I'm like, oh, this looks amazing. And then I make it and I'm like, it's okay. And so then Thursday, made some crock pot beef roast. Friday, I was feeling kind of tired and burnt out of cooking, so we had some pizzas, frozen pizzas in the freezer that we've had for a little while that I've been kind of holding off on using until sometime like this, where I'm just kind of tired of cooking and we just want something a little special. But sad news is there's no more pizzas in the freezer, so we're gonna do without that. But yeah, and then Saturday leftovers. So it worked out that there was a couple days of leftovers this week and we had plenty of food for those leftovers, plus a little treat on Friday with the freezer pizzas. Okay, so that was week 3 of this pantry challenge. So when I made the homemade buns on Sunday, I have been off and on looking for a recipe for homemade buns that I really enjoy, that are fairly easy to make. I want a large batch of buns because we go through buns pretty quickly, you know, whether we're making hamburgers or sloppy joes or whatever. So I've been having a hard time finding an easy recipe for buns, but I did find one. I had to find like a large batch bread recipe, and I just made buns out of it. It turned out really great, and I will link that in the description for you. I didn't show it though. One thing that I am struggling with already is quick, healthy meals. So I don't know, during the week it's so busy with homeschooling and then trying to get some housework done, and then the kids' activities in the evenings, afternoons and evenings. It's hard to make everything from scratch. So we're kind of struggling with finding foods that we want to eat. And then I find that if everyone's kind of disinterested in the meal anyway, we don't eat all of it. And so we have to, and it's just kind of like humdrum. So I'm gonna try to figure out how to make the foods that we have more appetizing and quicker. So that has been a challenge, and it's taking its toll a little bit. I'm getting a little overwhelmed at times, but we're hanging in, and we are following the budget so far. Haven't had to break that just yet. My biggest fun accomplishment, you guys know, I showed you the homemade syrup recipe that I did. Now I've been making that for years, but I just haven't had time to make it recently, and my daughter has been asking for waffles, so we did make homemade waffles, and I tripled the batch so that we could put some in the freezer. That just made it really easy for some breakfasts this past week, and we still have some in the freezer, so I'm very thankful for that. So this has been week 3. It's been kind of crazy around here, so I'm sorry if I don't have a whole lot more tips and everything, but I did just want to share with you what the pantry looks like, what our meals were, and then that homemade syrup recipe. I hope that you really enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and maybe it motivated you to do something like this on your own. Yes, it gets hard at times, but you can push through, and it'll be great to have a clean pantry. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.